Okay, so that's good to go. Okay, well, I'm absolutely delighted to introduce Dallas Dwight from the LA Maybes. Thanks very much for your time today.
Yeah,
You.
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to chat a little bit.
Good. Well, today's the day. Damn Tricks is released now. How you feel about it finally getting it out there?
Yeah, man, we're so excited. We had it's pretty cool. We're doing this the day it came out because yeah, it's just been a whirlwind of a morning. We had, since midnight the album came out, and we've just been getting amazing feedback just flooding in from all over the place.
Yeah, I've seen the reviews. Most of them really positive. I actually done mine. Oh, probably was midnight here last night. I finished it, so I've sent it over to Tom. So he'll probably fire it on to you today. Absolutely loved it. Great album.
Well, thank you so much. Appreciate that.
So you're enjoying the response so far. Obviously, you're a day in.
Yeah.
I mean, this is for me. I suppose this is for me and for anybody else out there that's not in it. What's it like for a band to sit there and actually wait for an album to hit?
Yeah, it's weird because we do all the work up front, and then a lot of stuff that's out of our control has to happen before we can release it. So the album's been done since Christmas.
Yeah.
But we had to get it in the pipeline, do all the release, set the singles. Everything has to be a certain amount of time apart. You can't just dump it all on people because then they won't be ready for it. And so we just kind of had to sit on it and do all that stuff. Thankfully, there wasn't a lot else going on, so it wasn't.
That's true.
It wasn't too hard, but that was good. Now though, it feels like we're at the end, but really we have to kind of think that this is the beginning because for most people, this is the first they're hearing of us.
Yeah.
So even though it feels like the end for us, we kind of crossed the finish line. It's really the beginning because our career is just getting started, and this is kind of the first step.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose it's going to be a bit frustrating as well because you can't really do it the way you're expecting to do it, the way that it's always been. Release the album, hit the road, take it out in there. So I mean, you're looking at a totally different ball game, I suppose. So I mean, where are you taking it? What is your the album's out now? You're obviously pushing promo. You want to be doing, your interviews. But what else? How are you going to get the word out there?
So we're going to be taking as many shows as we can get. But like you said, it's not really working that way right now. Yep. And we for the longest time didn't have a booking agent or anything like that, and all that changed as of this morning. So we will be, doing a lot more shows, as many shows as we can, basically. How many is that? I don't know. Where are they? I don't know. But we'll do as much as we can. I do promise that. But the other thing we're doing, because we asked ourselves that same question that you just asked me, and we thought, what are we going to do? How are we? The shows are the way you get in front of people on a weekly basis, a monthly basis, whatever it is. It reminds them you're still there. And all that stuff. So we decided what we're going to do is we're going to start our own podcast. So we've been working on that, and that'll be our shows for now. It won't be performing or anything like that, but it'll be our way to stay in front of fans every single week moving forward. So that's something that we're really excited about doing. And the whole premise of the show is it's going to be called Your New Favorite Band, and it's all about promoting the new rock bands that are out there right now because there's so many of them, so many of our peers, and promoting us too. We want to promote ourselves as well. So it's kind of our way of helping usher in the new wave of rock music it's out there. We just have to get it to the masses,
Yeah, I mean it's massive. I mean it's good what you're doing. There's a good few bands have done that, especially in the UK, especially with the, as you say, the kind of new wave of a classic rock there. I mean, because there's a lot of people who I suppose are still stuck in the old school days, and they they might not be aware of it, but the amount of talent that's out there just now is massive. I mean, last year, if you look at the fact that we had no gigs, the actual albums that hit last year was incredible. I mean, I was sitting doing at the tail end of the year my favourites. And there was so much good music out, so many good music. Just getting back to the album, what you pick as your favourite?
My favorite would probably be track 3, "Oh Sugar."
Yeah,
I really like just kind of the fun vibes of that track. I love the backing vocals, and I love a lot of the funk kind of Prince guitar parts we snuck in there that were kind of sneaky.
it's good. It's good. I mean, I suppose you'd just be desperate to get out on the stage to do this, and put them on, because the vibe I got from an awful lot of them, apart from being kind of old school, kind of 80s, was that these are live tracks. That's the feel you get from them straight away.
Right. Yeah.
Like, you go, oh, I want to see that live. I want that. That's the kind of vibe you got for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's good to hear.
Just talking on it, I found it very diverse as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll be honest. I suppose you've been tagged to a certain extent with the whole AC/DC thing. The AC/DC stories there. And I suppose I come in, and I suppose a lot of other people will come in thinking, we're in for the same. We'll get another Airborne, another Black Aces.
Right.
The Lazies were going to come in here. And I was totally surprised, totally taken back, which I think is a brilliant thing, because you're obviously not stuck in a rut there. Don't get me wrong, yet there's definite vibes from it. But with the AC/DC thing, do you think it's going to hinder the story? Is it going to hinder the band, or are you hoping that you're just going to get that somebody sees it, hears it, reads it, and goes, "Oh, well, I'm going to check them out"?
Yeah, I agree. I agree more with the second one. I definitely don't think it's going to hinder us. I think what's going to happen, and what I've seen happen already, is what it does is it gives us a little bit of credibility, and it allows us to kind of get our foot in the door. Where if we didn't have that, people there wouldn't be a story there. Nobody would be paying attention. So, now that we have the AC/DC angle, people perk up and they go like, "Oh, whoa, he auditioned for AC/DC. I want to hear this because he probably sounds like I want to hear how good he was. I bet he sucks, whatever." And then they listen to it. Of course, he doesn't. And we led with Mr. Danger because it was the most AC/DC sounding track. So for that month when it was just Mr. Danger, we definitely did see some of the, these guys are just AC/DC, blah, 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 blah. And then we dropped Sucker Punch, and I have not seen one of those comments since. Right. So because Sucker Punch obviously doesn't sound like AC/DC at all. And then the more you dig into the album, the more you realize we kind of go a lot of different places. And Alvy goes a lot of different places with his voice. Think of a song like When I'm Gone or Peace of Mind or something like that. Very different. You never hear so much, of Brian Johnson or Bon Scott doing those kind of things as much. So, I appreciate you saying there's variety. I love that it does kind of surprise people. That was, part of the goal was to show like, hey, we have that angle, we can do that thing, but also we can do a lot more. And so there's something. I think this album is great because there's something on it for everyone. Every you talk to 10 people and all 10 of them are going to feel like they like a different song more than, that's just kind of how it goes. So,
yeah, I mean, that as you say, that's a good thing because especially those that do like the old classic sounding rock, will call you different, even though it was one big genre, you've got your Queens, your Frees, all different styles. So yeah, you're right. I mean, somebody will come in and go, yep, also all the tracks are great, but this one's mine. That reminds me of whatever. This one's great. So yeah, I totally get you. As I say, it's all over there, but it's in a good way. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Now it's been a tough time for a lot of people, and so with everything that's been going on, like me, I mean, I'm music daft. I've been music daft since. Well, that's me on it, 40 odd years now, since 1980. And so I find it really tough without gigs, without music.
Yeah.
I usually do, three a week, we're talking. That was my old school. That's what I used to do before COVID came along. I was there constantly. So when I get to the point where, I'm really pissed off with this stuff. I need to rock out. I need to go and I need to do this. A lot of people give you a funny look and they just don't get it, basically. It's like, we've got other things to worry about. We're going, I've passed that. I've done all the worrying. We're living with the worry and no music.
Yeah.
So, how you guys deal with it? How do you get by?
Well, when the pandemic hit, we were a very different band. We had a different singer. We were playing mostly covers. And so when the pandemic hit, it was our chance. All our gigs got canceled for us because we had 40, 50 gigs lined up for 2020, and all cover variety band gigs. So we were going to keep doing the same thing with no plans to really adjust. And the pandemic forced us to look ourselves in the mirror, decide what we wanted to do, and then go do it. So we parted ways with our old lead singer. We got Alvy. We wrote 10 songs. We recorded the 10 songs. We did all that in the span of a few months. And so for us, as much as the pandemic's really sucked, it kind of birthed us. So it's hard to hate it too much because without it, we would not be here talking about this music at all.
So what pushed you away from doing the covers? Because I know, especially over here in the UK, cover bands can be the ones that make money.
Yeah, we were making decent money, and that was all good. But we were just tired. We were just tired of playing covers. We did have some originals, some of the ones on the album. We played Peace of Mind, She's Reckless and Sweet, and Fake, pretty much every gig with our old singer. But that was 4 songs, and we'd play 40, 50 songs a night. So we got a little bit of fulfillment, but it wasn't like, we were ready to do our own thing on our own terms and not have to worry about playing cover songs anymore. So that's what really led us to kind of adjusting.
Yeah. So, I mean, is that now, have you just drawn a line in the sand saying that's it, we are a band now? We're not going back to that.
Yeah, pretty much. Exactly.
I'm always going to say that, obviously, you've got bands out there and you'll say, well, we've got one album. It comes to a live show, are you going to be sneaking in some of those covers?
Oh, yeah, so our first show, we played one show, and we just did all 10 originals, no covers. But we probably will sneak, a gun song in there or something for fun, because we love doing it. But yeah, the nice thing about the variety band was we can play so many different things. So different styles, different, genres, everything. So because we'd play pop, rock, R&B, hip hop, jazz, everything. So we would go all over the place, and we can still do that as a band. So that's good. So we have a lot of flexibility in, what we bring to the live show. And another thing that was really important for us for the live show was to not just play the songs live, like you hear them on the album. We wanted to, add stuff, extend stuff, make, certain songs go seamlessly into other songs, add little fun transitions and stuff like that. So we're creating more of a show and less of just like song, good night. Like we're trying to do more, of a continuous show.
Is that kind of push away from your covers thing? Because you have to be so, spotless and on the ball with that cover so that people recognize that song. So now you can just shove it. We just do this all our own way now.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly. So we're, thankfully we've had one show now.
I was going to ring up about that. So how did that go? Was it a socially distanced one or?
It was following all the COVID protocols that we have down here. And the ones we have down here are a little bit looser than most places, but it was all good. Yeah, it was perfect. It wasn't, too many people, but there were enough to make it feel fun and good. And it was the perfect opportunity for us to kind of test out what we had been working on. Because, we're all seasoned players. We've all played hundreds, if not thousands of shows ourselves. But as a band together, this was our first show, really. So, and we've been running in rehearsal. It's not like, we're just figuring out on stage. But it was our first chance to really test it and look in someone else's eyes and see how they reacted to certain things that we hoped they would, For example, Driz, the other guitar player, and I do this super extended harmonized solo. Like it's kind of like Allman Brothers meets Iron Maiden meets Avenged Sevenfold, and we throw that in Peace of Mind of all songs. Yeah. So it's stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff you can expect when you go to the show. And when we played that, every jaw was on the floor. So that's the exact response we were hoping for. So it was cool to see that.
Yeah. So did you get a chance to speak to some of the punters on the night just to see what their thoughts were?
Oh yeah, for sure. We had tons of people coming up. Venue owners, the other band members that were headlining. Every fan in the place came up at some point. We sold a ton of merch, so we were talking at the merch table the whole night. So it was we had a lot of chances to interact with people, and it was kind of a hometown show. So a lot of people we knew were there for us, not even the headliner. So it was really cool to be a part of that.
Brilliant. We'll go on to Classic Rock magazine over here. It picked up on the singles, and it has both Mr. Danger and Sucker Punch nominated for Track of the Week. I think that's still ongoing, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
So tell the guys out there, why should they be voting for you, and where do they?
Oh, oh, I don't even know. I mean, there were so many amazing bands that were nominated. Our good friends, the Small Town Titans, were nominated, so maybe
Yeah,
you should go vote for them. But
you can't say
but
that.
yeah, we were really fortunate to be nominated for both of our singles. I mean, two for two. That's amazing. So we were thrilled to see that, and they've been really nice to us. So we're couldn't be more excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously fit in perfect with the the production and the
Yeah.
So I mean, you've obviously told us how you got together, which obviously you were the cover bands. So how did you get Alvy? How did he come about joining?
So we were building a Guns N' Roses tribute at the time, to kind of try to up our price just a little bit, and we needed a singer to replace the singer that we were parting ways with. And so I found Alvy because he was singing for a Guns N' Roses tribute, and then asked him to join ours, and he was like, he's too busy, he's not going to do it. So that was fine. A couple weeks went by, and I just thought like, well, we're going to start this original stuff. I wonder if he'd be interested in singing originals. I mean, I don't know anybody else. I'll just go ahead and see what he says. And he jumped at that idea. He was very excited about that, because what I found out was he was a singer, really wanting to do originals, but wanting a writer. He wanted a writer. He was a singer wanting a writer, and I was a writer who needed a singer. So when we kind of discovered that, it clicked immediately. So Rasan, our bass player, and I went up to where he lives, and we rehearsed in the big warehouse, played a bunch of gun songs, played a couple of ours, just to see how everything clicked. Everything went really well. And 4 days later, he was in the booth recording tracks for the album. So I mean, it moved really quickly. Yeah.
Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. Now, just touching on the album again, there's obviously a whole shed load of influences in there, which obviously comes from you guys. But these are all bands from the past. You did mention Small Town Titans, who I absolutely love. But what newer bands would you point to that you like and you think other people should be checking out?
Oh, tons of them. I have a whole playlist on Spotify under, if you go to the LA Maybes Spotify page, there's a playlist there that
Excellent.
lists a ton of them. But yeah, I mean, I love bands like Dirty Honey, Greta Van Fleet, Small Town Titans, Joyous Wolf, Blacktop Mojo, Magnolia Bayou. I'm definitely forgetting a few. Did I say Joyous Wolf? I'm definitely forgetting a few, but I mean, just so many.
Those names alone, they're me. I'm going to tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, exactly. So Marcus King, he's from our neck of the woods. So love him. Bishop Gunn. I don't think they're around anymore, but love them.
I managed to catch them. Must have been 2 years ago now. I seen them when they come over. They were great as well. But yeah. They've called it a day.
Yeah, that's what I heard. They are not doing it anymore, which sucks. But loved them. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many awesome bands out there, and everybody should be listening to these bands because they're all great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
as I say, I love it. You've got the Spotify and you put it on there. Although I'm old school.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I always, whenever I discover a new one, I just add them to that list. So
brilliant, excellent. Right, okay. Can you expand on what happened in the Green Child of Mine parody?
And yeah.
Did it piss you off?
Yeah, that's an awesome question. I love that.
People wouldn't know about it because it was in and out and gone so quickly.
Yeah. So we were you'll love this story if you haven't heard it already. We were approached. Alvy was approached by the Merkins who did the video to sing Sweet Child of Mine. He was doing a Mandalorian Guns N' Roses mashup, and I got roped into it. I kind of told him, like, let me try to do an instrumental for you, because he showed me the track he was going to use, the guy from the Merkins, and I was like, I bet I could do a better track for you than that. So let me mock something up. Don't pay me any money. I'll just send it to you and see what you thought. So I mocked up the whole track, all the instruments, and then we put Alvy on top of it and sent it to him, and he loved it. He was happy with how it sounded. So then they did the video and released it, and it went immediately like super viral. Like, I mean, millions of views across all the platforms that it was on, and then it got taken down for copyright stuff. So we called the people that were listed as having taken it down,
right?
And it ended up being Guns N' Roses, like accountants or lawyers or whoever. And we talked to them, and they said, "Man, we loved it. We thought it was awesome, but we were told from the very top to take it down. So that means that the order came directly from Axel's manager, which means it came from Axel himself, which means he saw it and I guess wasn't too thrilled for whatever reason. I don't fully understand it. There was nothing in it making fun of Guns N' Roses. They're my number one favorite band of all time, so I'm always happy to honor them and play their music. So, but yeah, whatever. It's his music. He can, he has control over it. He can decide who uses it and who doesn't.
At least it was him that did it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I mean, is it still? I know it probably shouldn't say, but is it still out there in places? Do you do a bit of search, will you still find it somewhere?
Yeah, what happens when something goes viral is people will rip it and then upload it themselves. Yeah. So it's really kind of impossible to truly scrub something from the internet unless you control every aspect of it, and that's just not how it works really anymore, because people can easily screen record something, or this is why someone gets in trouble for a tweet that they deleted, because people will screenshot it and then it's never really gone. Yeah. The same kind of thing here, and yeah, you could still find it. It's a little unfortunate because the Merkins and we put so much work into it, and now other people will benefit from it, and we, kind of get left out. But it is what it is.
I know. The funny thing is, as well, you look at Guns N' Roses. Yes, they're big, whatever. But if you're looking at the Star Wars stroke Disney, you think that is the franchise. That's the big franchise. That's the big. But it wasn't them that done it. It was Axel. It's quite funny.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we knew it would get copyright flagged. We didn't think we'd make any money from it because that's it's not our song. So like we knew that's how that worked. So we weren't. That wasn't the goal really. It was just about kind of having fun and showcasing that.
As long as you enjoyed it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
One of the reasons that you jumped on that straight away is obviously that you're a Guns N' Roses fan and a Star Wars fan. So we're going to give you an idea. If you take the both of them and put them in a cage, who's going to win in that fight?
I think Star Wars for sure.
You sure?
But for me, I mean, those are my two favorite things, which is why I jumped and pushed to be a part of that project, because Star Wars and Guns N' Roses are like my two favorite things. So that was I was like, well, I was made for this project. So we had a lot of fun doing that.
Brilliant. So what's next for you guys? Obviously, you said you've got a booker now, which is great, and you'll start to get a lot of gigs. Obviously, well, hopefully. So what's next?
It's going to be, we're going to be playing as many shows as we can. And the immediate next thing we're going to be working on is the podcast. So what we're doing is we're literally building with our own two hands a studio for the podcast.
Right.
And that's going really great. We still have a little bit more to do. Once that's done, we're going to be in there every week filming an episode for you guys. So what we're going to do with the first 10 episodes is we plan on dedicating each episode to one of the songs on the album. And we're going to be opening up the Pro Tools session, isolating guitars, isolating vocals, telling stories about how we recorded it, getting really, really nitty gritty with the creation of each song on the album. And it's going to kind of, be the first 10 episodes. And then from there, we're going to kind of get more into what the podcast was intended for, which was highlighting and showcasing, other bands in our genre, a few of them we listed a minute ago. And potentially having some of them on as guests to talk about everything that's going on in rock and all that. So we're super excited about all that, and it's going to be a really fun project. I'm equally looking forward to that as I am to getting out there and playing shows. So I can't wait to get it off the ground.
It does. I mean, it's good. But if you then take away, that's obviously what's next for you coming up. If you can take all barriers away, and it's whatever choice you've got, what would you want for the band?
It would be the same thing. It would be the same exact thing. We would just probably be playing more shows. That would be the only thing. But we're going to be playing as much as we're allowed to and as much as we can get. So I will tell you that, as soon as if we're not going to be saying no to shows. So if we're not playing, it's because they're not there. But if we are playing, it's because we're getting opportunities that, we're going to be taking advantage of. So yeah, we're super excited about all that. But yeah, I don't think anything would change. The plan, this has been the plan since, for a long time.
Yeah.
So we didn't know if whenever we thought the pandemic was going to be short or long or whatever, this was always going to be part of the plan. So that hasn't really affected us, but the podcast is pandemic proof. So that's helpful. It doesn't matter what happens with the world. We can always do that and rely on that. So that's another reason we're doing that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Now, when we get everything finalized and everything's kind of hopefully clear, will you be open for touring abroad? Are you looking at UK and Europe?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're going to be doing everything we possibly can. For that kind of stuff, it's just a matter of like, can we do it and not, go broke or lose a ton of money or something like that. It's not like we're expecting to get rich, but it does have to make enough sense
Oh,
for us to go there and not, get stuck or something, something crazy like. So that's yeah, it probably won't be super soon, but who knows? You never know. The
yeah.
album's catching on really quickly, so we're happy about that for sure.
Yeah, just keep that's what I would say. Just keep your eye out, and hopefully festivals will pick up this year as well. Because there's a lot of festivals that you slot in with over here, uh,
Yeah,
no problem. So they probably your easiest and your first entry, I suppose, back into it.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
love to see his live, but as I say, the way it is, because I can't even see a local band live.
Yeah.
We're still on serious lockdown. We're going to be in lockdown. I think they're talking about June before we can actually get anything live.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. As I say, I would, because obviously I do reviews and I do photographs as well at gigs. I've already said to a few people, I said, Christ, I think I would just go and photograph cats singing at the
Yeah,
moment.
yeah, yeah.
It's getting that
Anything. Yeah,
bad. But
yeah.
so hopefully, as I say, hopefully we get past this and get beyond it, and we get to see you someday. So I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait for the podcast. And how are you going to do it? Is it coming from a YouTube channel? Is it you doing it through Facebook?
It'll be on YouTube for sure, and then it'll be on all the podcast platforms, so Apple, Spotify, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm looking forward to that. And you think what,
yeah,
a couple of weeks time?
yeah. Within a month, we should be up and running on that. We're a little behind schedule because it's been raining here so much, so some of our construction plans keep getting pushed back. But we are kind of in the final stages tonight. We're
Excellent.
planning on finishing up the floor, and that's the last step. We took a ton of time. We had to do the wall. We converted just a shed, just a regular shed, into a studio. So we've been doing, insulation, drywall, mounting. We did a wood accent wall. So we're like, staining, painting, sanding, doing all this crazy stuff, and now we're finally in like the final stages, which is epoxying that floor, getting all that set up, and then it's going to be a matter of just putting in the desk and cameras and all that stuff, and then we're going to be good to go. So
What kind of
we're
size?
almost there.
What kind of size are you talking?
It's not very big, the size, a little smaller than an average bedroom, I'd say.
Oh, that's good, separate. And where is it located? Oh, you better not tell me because you get some
Yeah, well,
people.
it's at our home in Charlotte. We all
Right.
live kind of in the Charlotte area, so
It's just there. Well, that's it. I'm not going to keep you much longer. I says that was brilliant to speak to you. Looking forward to, as I say, the podcast. I wish you all the best with the album because it is an absolute belter. I loved it. So I hope you get the best out of that and everything comes up to you and you just keep plodding on, keep selling, and people start to notice you.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me. This has been a blast. I really appreciate it, and I hope to get over to your side of the pond as soon as I can. Where are you located roughly?
Oh, I'm nearly Glasgow,
Oh, very cool.
Scotland. Yeah,
So
so
we can't wait to get over to Ireland, Scotland, UK, all that stuff for those in particular. Like, we want to go everywhere, but we've been super excited because we've been I take all the orders for the CDs and stuff that come in, and I've been shipping a bunch out there,
yeah,
a bunch to the UK, a bunch to Ireland. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
gonna be
I say I think you'll be down a treat live. As I say, yeah, definitely. And as I say, if there's anybody out there just happens upon this, make sure you check out the album, the podcast there. Go and check it now as well. But yeah, brilliant album, well done. I wish you all the best with it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, right. Thanks very much. Good luck. I'm just going to stop the pause of the recording now, so as I
Yeah,
don't
sure.
screw it up.